Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Ming, and today we will be going through the absolutely iconic box office hit that is known as Transformers 2007. The movie that told Americans that, yeah, maybe war is bad and Bush did 9/11. So the movie starts off with Josh Duhamel in somewhere in the Middle East on some kind of propaganda war campaign, and it's just like, why did the US invade Iraq? Oil girl? Immediately I asked the question, why is a Qatari boy friendly with the American military? Like, did they shoot their parents and the boy has, I don't know, developed some sort of Stockholm syndrome? A Sikorsky MH-53J Pavlo 3 helicopter emerges on the scene, manned by a pixelated pilot? The US military base is all like, what in tarnation is that? That's not on our radar. Give it a little bit of Benoit Blanc flavor. The helicopter is actually our first Transformer. A Decepticon, nonetheless. Blackout appears. The CGI in this movie absolutely slaps, honestly. The helicopter shifts into this gigantic mechanical robot and just starts decimating the military base. It also sends out a robotic scorpion called Scorponic to do some reconnaissance. We switch to our socially awkward main character teenager known as Sam Witwicky. Now, I would describe Sam as the unpopular, socially awkward, and horny underdog character. Sam is doing a history presentation, but he's also shilling stuff to his classmates, all in hopes of making enough money to buy his first car. Like, this movie is truly a sign of the times because Sam says stuff like sextant or seaman and the class laughs. Like, haha, sex is funny because we're horny classmates whose sex ed sucks. So anything related to sex is hilarious. He shows the classmate these Windsor glasses that will become very prevalent throughout the film. They belong to his great-great-grandfather, who is known as Archibald Witwicky. And Sam's all like, oh, they're being bid on eBay, so come quickly, because they're hot. The teacher's all like, Mr. Witwicky, please don't sell your stuff in my classroom. Like, come on, Sam's a hustler. He's just doing his best to make a living in this dire economy. And this was right before the 2009 financial crisis. Like, just lighten up and let him cook. Now, notice how I didn't say nerdy. Our protagonist is not smart. He got a B- on his history presentation. And you know, he doesn't wear glasses. So in 2007, if you don't wear glasses, you're not smart. Dad pulls up, vroom vroom, and drives him to a Porsche dealership. Sam's all like, oh my god, Dad, I can't believe you're getting me a Porsche. All giddy, and he can't stay still in his seat. Dad laughs in his face like, ha ha ha, my idiot son. You want a Porsche? Is that what you want? Because you're never gonna get it.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, I am. You're not getting a Porsche.
That is absolutely sociopathic behavior. Screw you, Dad. They go to a used car dealership owned by Bobby Bolivia, and an old yellow Camaro, Bumblebee, follows them in. Now, contrary to what the film says, Bumblebee is not a piece of crap. He is vintage. There is no Bumblebee slander here. Now, something to note here. Bobby Bolivia's car park also has a petting zoo with a single ostrich, and I respect the hustle. He has to stand out in the saturated used automobile industry, and he's doing just that. Bobby sees the Camaro that is Bumblebee and is all like, the hell? I don't remember getting this car before, but I'm still gonna sell it and make a profit. Very girl boss vibes. Bobby says it's 5K, Dad says nothing higher than 4K, but Bobby is not backing down. He tells Sam to get out of the car and tries to show him the other vehicles. Bumblebee starts to throw a tantrum because, you know, he has to be with Sam. He ends up using his radio frequency powers and ends up destroying every other car in the parking lot. This was so wrong by Bumblebee's part. You just destroyed a man's entire livelihood. This is a war allegory. The Transformers are America and they just invaded Earth, which is Iraq, and ruined the civilians, aka Bobby's, life. Military propaganda alert. Secretary of Defense, John Killer, who will henceforth be known as JK, is debriefing a crowd of people on the attack at the beginning of the movie. And we're introduced to only one of the two female characters in this entire movie, Maggie, played by Rachel Taylor. I honestly had no idea what her name was when I first watched this film because I don't think I remember anyone call her by her name. Now, Maggie, she's hot and she's blonde, but she also wears glasses, so she's smart. Oh, she doesn't wear glasses, but she's smart. In 2007, if you don't wear glasses, you're not smart. Blondie, hottie, not clumsy, and working for the US government? Like, it's attractive propaganda and makes me want to join. Now, JK is recruiting a bunch of people to help decode Decepticon noise during the attack. He's all like, this is the highest honor. You'll be defending our country. The president is expecting this. Blah, blah, blah. As if it's an honorable thing to be a part of the US military? Question mark. Just to note, the president during this time was George W. Bush. And I know Maggie was not getting paid for this work. They're all probably considered interns. Because JK's probably all like, the prestige of working for the US government outweighs any monetary compensation. Back at Sam's house, he logs into his eBay profile. Remember this username, ladiesman217. He has a dog named Mojo who takes pain pills. His dad is doing yard work and he's very protective of his grass. Mom is playing dress up with Mojo and Sam says, you're putting girl jewelry on a boy dog. Like, shut up, Sam. Mojo is slaying. Mom is just like, that's bling. And she's right. This is feminist cinema. Sam drives off in his Camaro and Bumblebee just starts farting up a gas storm. Mom's like, wow, you are so cheap. Dad says, well, it's his first car. It's supposed to be like that. Screw you, Dad. I'm so over the idea of I suffered, so you have to suffer too. Got Mr. Krabs up in here. Sam drives to the lake for some reason with best friend number 1, whose name is Miles, who is so insignificant. He's only in like one other scene in this movie. We're introduced to Michaela, played by Megan Fox, who is coincidentally also at the lake with her boyfriend. The boyfriend mocks Sam about how he tried out for the football team last year but got knocked out. And Sam's just playing it cool. He's just like, yeah, no, it was just for a book I was writing. The boyfriend says, oh, yeah, what's it about? Sucking as sport? Ha ha ha. No, it's about the link between brain damage and football. Oof! Sam might not be smart, but he is quite witty. You may even call him Sam Witty? Huh? Cause, you know, he's wiki and witty. The boyfriend's all getting up in Sam's grill, like about to square up, and Michaela comes in the middle of them and is just like, that's enough. See what I mean about feminism? Like, the women have all the power here. That's enough. And all the boys stop fighting. Later, Michaela decides to walk home because the boyfriend's being a douche. He didn't let her drive his big truck because he says she can't handle it. Little does he know, she's not just hot. She is a mechanical engineer that works in her dad's garage and drives a motorcycle. She's not like them other girly girls. She has traditionally masculine interests. And she is definitely not afraid to walk away from an uncomfortable situation. She is an independent woman. Sam says that Michaela lives about 10 miles from here, which is about 15 kilometers, and she's walking. So that would take like what? 3 to 4 hours to walk home for her. And she's wearing heels. And it's about 6 p.m. and the sky is orange. So how does she have time to do her homework? Bumblebee turns on the radio and plays Drive by the Cars. Who's gonna drive you home tonight? I don't actually know the lyrics. I'm gonna listen to that right now. Who's gonna drive you home tonight? I'm gonna drive her home tonight. Sam kicks his friend out of the car and makes him walk home instead. Honestly, I support this because this is a feminist movie. Sam's on a socially awkward pick-me nice guy era, and he's just like, I was wondering if I would ride you home, give you a ride home tonight. Michaela thinks about it for a little bit and she gets in the car. It's a little cute. It's a little like sparks fly. It's like electricity. Michaela talks about how she likes guys with muscles and abs. And then there's a scene of Sam trying to like show off his arm muscles, his guns. It's a bit cute how awkward he is. Michaela asks him, are you new to this school? No, we've been in the same school since first grade. Wow, I would be so dejected. Someone get Sam a PR team stat. It's bad. He's basically Dan Humphrey invisible, pre-dating Serena. Bumblebee starts acting up and drives to a cliff. Remember this cliff. Michaela and Sam check out the hood and Michaela's just like, whoa, nice headers. You got a high-rise double pump carburetor. Double pump? It squirts the fuel in so you could go faster. This is also one of those unnecessary camera shots of Megan Fox's body because, you know, it's 2007 and Hollywood just loves to exploit Megan Fox. Sam says, you know, I'm cool if females work in my engine. I prefer it. Bro, just stop talking. Michaela's creeped out. Look, she should be. Because this guy she's never talked to is suddenly making creepy sex jokes at her. I think the film portrays her as thinking, you know, it's cute. But if this were in real life, I'm sure anybody would want to leave in this situation. This is why car-centric infrastructure is so bad. Because if you don't like a guy, you could just walk home and be home in like 15 minutes. But because we're dependent on cars, you have to stay with them in the car while they drive recklessly. Kayla starts walking away and Bumblebee starts playing Baby Come Back by The Player. Baby come back, you can blame it all on me. He ends up driving her back and she says, thanks for listening. It's cute. Back at the US military, we find out that our resident blondie hottie Maggie, she's actually Australian. Like, what the fuck? Is she even a citizen? This is so funny. Why is she helping the US? They're doing some, like, analysis stuff about this Decepticon noise, and then she says, like,
No way, this is nothing like what the Chinese are using.
Norway. No, I can say that better. Norway, this is nothing like what the Chinese are using. Okay, let's move on. Now, we're in a private jet with who I believe is supposed to be President Bush. Little does he know, a little Decepticon known as Frenzy has snuck onto the plane disguised as a boombox. Transformers, robots in disguise. Why is no one suspicious that there's a music device on the plane just underneath someone's chair? There's this bit where the flight attendant lady says, "Yes, Mr. President," and there's this viscerally disturbing weird shot of his Red Sox just wiggling at the edge of the bed. Yeah, can you wrestle me some ding-dongs, darling? The lady goes to get the ding-dongs and Frenzy follows her in. Why does no one see this metal bug creature just slithering around the plane? He's not even being slick, he's making all this noise. In the storage room, many concerning things I observed. The lady drops a ding-dong on the floor. First of all, is that what a ding-dong is? Just a circular chocolate thing? She drops the ding-dong on the floor and then she picks it up, smells it, and takes a bite. Like, of course it's gross. It was on the floor. Why is the server room stored next to the food? It's gotta be some kind of contamination there. Frenzy, being in the room, hacks into the US government. And blondie Australian girl boss Maggie is just like, are you running diagnostics? She announces to everyone in the room full of old white men that they're being hacked. She's not even a citizen and she's not even getting paid. And she's single-handedly saving the country. As an immigrant? This is a commentary about how the US thrives off the cheap labor of immigrants. This is also an issue in that why are 20-year-olds solving something that a team of seniors can't solve or didn't notice? Again, they're not even getting paid. They then cut the server lines to prevent the hack. Frenzy freaks out. Security comes into the room and Frenzy quickly dispatches them with ninja shurikens. The plane lands. Frenzy gets out, and there's this scene where men in suits are just walking around, and there's this little metal skeleton creature just gallivanting around in plain sight, and no one notices. Like, when I see a spider near me, I immediately scream and kill it. Frenzy enters a police car, and at first I was like, whoa, why does the human not react to this metal creature? And then I realized, oh, this is a Decepticon vehicle. In the vehicle, Frenzy searches the internet and locates Sam Witwicky, aka Ladies Man 217, and the Windsor glasses of his great-great-grandfather, because it contains the coordinates of the Allspark. Sam Witwicky wakes up in the middle of the night to his yellow Camaro suddenly starting. He thinks someone is stealing his car. He follows the car and calls the cops. He finds Bumblebee in robot form, who is giving a bat signal-esque for all the Autobots to come to Earth and assemble. He then ends up getting chased by two dogs, and Bumblebee saves him. The cops come and they arrest him. I mean, this isn't surprising. This isn't the first instance of cops arresting someone who called for help. This is an anti-cop movie. He's now at the police station. The police station questions Sam on what kind of drugs he's doing, because remember, marijuana is still illegal in 2007. They think he's on drugs because they find pills in his pocket with the label Mojo for his dog Mojo. This man is just dumb. There's even a paw print on the sticker. Also, what kind of drug dealer would put the colloquial name for a drug on the bottle? He flashes his gun like Lauren Boebert and is just provoking Sam, a teenager, as an adult man. It's anti-cop because it portrays the cop as dumb. Back at the US military, Maggie sneaks into a government meeting full of stuffy old white men. And they just can't handle a hot blonde woman mansplaining a US security issue to them. Like, even though this computer girl boss discovered a hack all on her own. She's warning them about the threat being some kind of DNA-based organisms, aka Transformers, robots in disguise. That's enough. If you don't get a filter on that brain mouth of yours, you're off the team. Like, excuse me? You're not even paying her. And she said nothing offensive. She's just giving them options. This movie shows us that women can be hot and smart, but men get offended when they show any signs of intelligence. Old white men just hate it when a blonde, skinny woman doesn't have a baby in her hands in the kitchen. Back to Josh Duhamel and guitar. The US military is ambushed by Scorponic, and they just decide to run into a civilization of Middle Easterners, as if they're okay with wrecking the livelihood of foreigners. Josh Duhamel takes the child to his dad, and their house gets blown off. Like, you wouldn't have had to rush the child to safety if you would have not led the Decepticon to the village. He calls the Pentagon, and for some reason, the call gets directed to a call center. I find this whole thing kind of racist because the guy on the other line is the only brown character in the whole film, and he's just portrayed as this stereotypical call center Indian guy who, let's face it, doesn't care about the American patriot who's at war defending his country. Pentagon sends bombs to fight off Scorponic, but they just end up blowing off the buildings of these poor civilians. Like, not once, but 3 times. They just shoot up and bomb the area. Absolutely disgusting how you can just have this flashy firepower, but not universal healthcare. Scorponic is not even dead. He just escaped into the ground. But Josh Duhamel's army is safe, I guess. The next scene is just my favorite scene because it's absolutely iconic. Girl boss Maggie Mitchell. I don't know if her last name is actually Mitchell. I just said it because it rolls off my tongue. Anyways, she uses her feminine resources to the fullest extent. She's like, guys, I gotta take this Transformers hacking shit into my own hands. So she copies the government files and she has her like makeup contact open, right? Pretending to do her makeup and shit. And then she takes the chip. Stop. And she just gets up. She jets off. Like, it's giving Totally Spies. It's giving that scene from Scooby-Doo Monsters Unleashed where Daphne overrides the fingerprint scanner with her makeup.
Oh, brother. The lock's on a laser thumbprint scanner. It's never too late to learn to properly apply makeup. Last good thumbprint should still be there. A little blush, a pore strip, and voila.
Right there.
I enjoy being a girl.
Like, this is one of those scenes where Taylor Swift is wrong. And it pays to not be the man. Maggie takes a chip to her hacker friend's house, but then the FBI raids them before they could get any good progress. Maggie and her hacker friend Glenn are pinned to the ground. Like, Maggie, this was really dumb on your part for leading the FBI to detain a black person's house. Like, I believe in women's rights and women's wrongs, but this was just wrong. Sam is back in the house. Bumblebee comes back. Sam's afraid of the car because it's just like autonomous and shit. He tries to outrun the car on a bike. He rides the bike over a bump and falls forward onto his back. Disaster strikes. Michaela is there. Oh my god, that's so embarrassing. I'm riding a pink bike in 2007 and I fell and hit my head. But no one is making sure I'm okay. This is so bad. Michaela though, she's so supportive. She's just like, wow, that was really awesome. And she's right.
That was really awesome.
Sparks fly, it's like electricity. So Sam runs away and he's just like, I have to go. Then the saline S2A1 Ford Mustang police car also follows him. This close-up of the police car with the text, to punish and enslave. Like, that's so on the nose and relevant for the culture of today. This movie is anti-cop. Sam goes up to the car thinking the police will help him. Nope. It then proceeds to try and run him over. Come on, the allegories do not stop. The police car transforms into the Decepticon Barricade. Barricade chases Sam down, pins him to the ground, and says this.
Are you username ladiesman217?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Are you username ladiesman217?
Are you username ladiesman217? We should just start referring to each other as our internet names. Are you at Barbie is better than Brat77? Barricade wants the Windsor glasses that belong to his grandfather.
Where is the eBay item 21153? Where?
Barricade flips the car that Sam is on top of, which gives Sam enough time to run away. Michaela also followed Sam on a Vespa. Sam sees her and tackles her to the ground. The suspension bridge effect is starting. Turns out Bumblebee was only following to protect him from Barricade. Barricade comes running at them, and Bumblebee drives in and knocks Barricade out. They both get into Bumblebee and drives away from Barricade. You know, this is when I first realized that Decepticons, as in they deceive because they create fake human pilots, but Autobots as in autonomous vehicles which you can ride in. Like Elon Musk wishes. Can you ride in a Decepticon? Probably, but you'll die. Bumblebee drives them to what I think is a power plant, throws them out, and finally transforms for the first time. One thing this movie gets right is the transformations. I cannot get enough of this slick animation. The two Transformers duke it out. Frenzy emerges from Barricade and chases down Sam and Michaela. Sam, being the weak, lovable, and second protagonist he is saved by Michaela, who comes in running with the power saw and slices Frenzy in half. Now this part absolutely infuriates me, because Frenzy, who's still alive and kicking, Sam kicks it away. He kicks the little bugger away, even though it's still alive. Come on, he's basically letting it get away, and it does. It transforms into Michaela's phone and sneaks into her purse. Come on, Sam. As foreshadowed before, he's not smart. I'm gonna mention now that the mechanic that all Transformers have is that they can transform into any electronic on Earth by copying it. Bumblebee defeats Barricade and tries to talk. He can only communicate through songs on the radio. They get the gist that Bumblebee is an alien. They're in Bumblebee again, and Sam's just like, Michaela, since there's only one seatbelt, how about you sit in my lap? And it works! Wow! He's the Rizzler. Michaela says Bumblebee is a piece of crap 1977 yellow Camaro, and Bumblebee throws them out. Like, I would be angry too. Sorry, that's Bay right there. Do not talk crap about Bay. But actually, Bumblebee was just looking for another, newer Camaro to transform into. Bumblebee drives them off to watch a meteor shower of his Autobot friends crashing onto the Earth. This was surprising to me because when the Autobots first arrive on the Earth, they're just gray skeletons. It's only after they find cars to copy that they become the forms we're expecting. This begs the question, if Transformers can just copy any vehicle on Earth, can Optimus Prime not be a lame fire truck? Can Bumblebee pick a car that's not yellow? Sam and Michaela meet the Autobots and they all transform into their robot forms, and again, I just can't get enough of this transformation animation. Like, inject it into my veins. I feel like Megan Fox, she's always put into these like gigantic CGI movies of like anthropomorphic creatures surrounding her. Like there's this exact scene at night in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles where she's surrounded by the CGI turtles. I honestly believe this is a Hollywood fetish. So the Autobots we meet are as follows. Jazz, who transforms into a 2006 Pontiac Solstice, who also talks in AAVE, so I think he's the designated black Autobot.
What's cracking, little bitches?
My first lieutenant. Designation Jazz.
This looks like a cool place to kick it.
Ironhide, a weapons specialist who transforms into a 2006 GMC Top Kick C4500. I think he's my favorite. He looks so cool and he has cannons. Ratchet, a robot medic who transforms into a yellow 2007 Search and Rescue Hummer H2 ambulance, which is very fitting. He immediately exposes Sam for being horny. The boy's pheromone levels suggest he wants to mate with the female. It's the suspension bridge effect. Optimus introduces the big bad Megatron, who wants to use the Allspark to transform all of Earth's electronics into Decepticons and wipe out the human race. Turns out, the coordinates of the Allspark are imprinted onto Archibald Witwicky's Windsor glasses. And Sam put this on eBay. Kids, let this be a lesson that anything you put online is searchable and permanent. Maggie is being held up by the FBI, and she just tells them how she needs to talk to JK about something called Sector 7 and Archibald Witwicky before the US goes to war with the wrong country. Something that the US definitely won't hesitate to do with their overbloated military budget. This Australian blondie hottie is preventing another war. Give the lady a salary. JK finally comes into the room to take Maggie and her friend Glenn out of custody so that they can work together to defeat the Decepticons. Sam brings the Autobots back to his house to get the glasses. The giant robots are just scurrying around the yard, breaking shit, creating minor earthquakes. They're like Velma. They want the glasses. Glasses. I can't see without my glasses. Like, just stay in your vehicle form in the driveway and let Sam handle this human shit. Don't destroy his house. Mojo pisses on Ironhide's foot. He's leaked lubricants all over my foot. That's what you get for not staying on the path and destroying the water fountain. Sam goes back to his room to look for the glasses, and he looks out his window and sees that all the Autobots have transformed into their vehicle form. You just see a random Hot Wheels colored fire truck in the middle of a garden. Like, this is so funny. Optimus is just like, we need those glasses. And I don't know, he's just really giving me Joe Biden vibes right now, if that makes sense. Like, just back off and let Sam handle it. They're acting like the most inconspicuous robots, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, except they're not teenagers. Nor are they turtles. They're mutant ninja robots. Ratchet even manages to walk across the electrical lines and cause a major blackout across the whole neighborhood. I also need to mention that the cinematography here is so weird. Like, there's supposed to be a blackout, but there's these like gigantic lights, not from the flashlights, just shining on top of the actors' faces. It totally just breaks the immersion. Parents go up to Sam's room, and Mom gives the best delivery in the whole movie. Oh, for Pete's sakes, you're so defensive. Were you masturbating? You can call it Sam's happy time or my special alone time with myself.
I mean, you don't have to call it that word. If that makes you uncomfortable, you can call it Sam's happy time or my special alone time.
Mom,
with
Judy,
myself.
stop.
This is so funny and iconic. Dad looks out the yard and sees everything's destroyed and says, well, great, we got a blown transformer. And that's the first time we hear the name of the movie. Michaela stands up and the parents are in awe of this hottie in Sam's presence. They do not think Sam is cool. Sector 7 pulls up at the Witwicky's house and they're destroying the house. Like, not Dad's grass and Mom's flowers.
Good Lord! They've got to get their hands off my bush!
Mom grabs a bat and is about to knock the men in black out. You better get those guys out of my garden or I'm gonna beat the crap out of you. Sam and Michaela are taken by Sector 7, and it turns out they know about Ladies Man 217 and the self-driving yellow Camaro. Agent Seymour Simmons, who we will henceforth now be referring to as SS. He talks down to the teenagers and shows them his badge. He says it's his do whatever I want and I can get away with it badge. And again, this movie is just not being subtle about how it's anti-cop and anti-US government. Government agents are just so goofy and love to abuse their power. SS also talks about how he knows about Michaela's mechanical engineering past because she used to steal cars with her dad. SS says this, and I quote, "She's a criminal, and criminals are hot." Like, you might be speaking for the audience, but you're a 40-year-old man saying this to a 17-year-old girl. What the fuck? Now, I'm gonna spin this so that Michaela's in the right here. Michaela is a naturally talented and creative #woman in STEM who learned about technology through alternative sources and did not spend $200K on an engineering degree at an overpriced private university. And you're here saying she's a criminal? This country just has a vendetta against resourceful and smart kids who are poor. The Autobots swoop in to come and rescue Sam and Michaela. And there's this cool spectacle of all the Autobots just swinging in and Jazz sucking up their weapons with a magnet.
Autobots, relieve them of their weapons.
Freeze! Give me
I guess these robots can be ninjas. It's just a space issue. This agent is Arnold from The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. Sweet Life on Deck takes place on the SS Tipton. Sweet Life on Deck is the sequel to Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, of which Arnold is a character. SS, the Agent SS. This movie, Transformers, I saw on the wiki page that one of the production companies is DreamWorks Pictures, Disney owns everything. Disney owns this movie. That's the conspiracy. Everything goes back to Disney. All these different production companies, they were all a monopoly this whole time. It's been right underneath our noses. All the Sector 7 goons are now tied up. Now Sam is questioning them about Sector 7, and Bumblebee, he just starts pissing on SS. Bumblebee, stop lubricating the man. I have to go. Go piss, girl. Michaela makes SS strip before they leave. I swear, this is just another fetish. They make Megan Fox tell the 40-year-old man to strip. Come on, it's not subtle. You've got Sam and Michaela for the teenagers, and then you've got this scene for the older adults. Sam and Michaela leave. Optimus says, "Roll out!" and they all transform back into their vehicles.
Roll out.
Again, it's just so smooth and cool. I can't get enough of the CGI. But oh no, the government reinforcements have followed them and they end up kidnapping Bumblebee. Optimus is just like, it's a worthwhile sacrifice. What? Bumblebee is your own kind. And your own kind is about to get extinct. And you're okay with Bumblebee dying, but you can't hurt humans? What kind of logic is that? Optimus got glasses, so the end justifies the means. A few sacrifices is worth it? Again, Optimus Prime is Joe Biden. I can't explain it. He just is. And then you see here how Bumblebee, he's not fighting back, but they're still restraining him. This is an allegory to every police brutality incident ever. Back at the government base, the Decepticons have used the virus to wipe out all telecommunications across the world. We also find out that Sector 7 is a secret government conspiracy created by President Hoover to research Transformers. Now Maggie, Josh Duhamel and his crew, Sam, and Michaela are all gathered at the Hoover Dam where the Allspark is located. Turns out, Megatron is also frozen and hidden underneath the dam. Oh, look at the Chekhov's gun that just appeared. Frenzy appears out of Michaela's bag and sneaks into the base, alerting all the Decepticons that he has found the Allspark. God damn it, Sam. We're then blessed with this amazing montage of all the Decepticons mobilizing. Starscream is a Lockheed Martin F-22 Raptor jet. Devastator is a M1A1 Abrams tank. Bone Crusher is a Buffalo H-mine protected military vehicle. And Blackout and Barricade, who we already met. The Decepticons are so much more cooler than the Autobots. They transform into literal weapons of mass destruction, and the Autobots transform into like trucks and luxury cars. The thing to note here is that the Decepticons, they're government vehicles and police cars, fighter jets and tanks, and they're the antagonists. The Autobots are just regular trucks and cars, aka the workers and the bourgeois who rally together to defeat the evil government. But no, in real life we're actually in a class war between the workers and the capitalists. Also, I know we're supposed to root for the Autobots, but come on. How do you expect trucks and cars to go against literal flying jets and helicopters and tanks? The gang is led into a room where Sector 7 is experimenting with the power of the cube. Its power is to turn electronics into evil Decepticons. There's this scene in the room where the only two black characters are seen interacting, and they just have the most inconsequential dialogue ever.
Oh, wow. Is that Freddy Krueger been up here or something?
Oh, no, man. Freddy Krueger had 4 blades, man. That's only 3. That's Wolverine. Right? That's Wolverine.
That's very funny.
This movie really has a problem with treating its black characters. Glenn hands SS a Nokia, and SS mentions how, Nokia. The Japanese really know the way of the samurai, cause Nokias are indestructible. What was that? Casual racism? Then Maggie says, Nokias are from Finland. I'm trying to do an Australian accent. The Allspark radiation turns the Nokia into a Decepticon. It's a little frenzy. It can shoot rockets and guns, which begs the question, which part of the Nokia turned into the weapon? Starscream is zipping around, breaking the sound barrier in his jet form, and already arrived at the dam. Meanwhile, flop Autobots are still driving on the road. Starscream is just shooting up the dam. He cuts off the electricity so Megatron can thaw. and no one can stop him because none of the Autobots can fly. The group hears shooting, and Sam is telling SS to take me to my car. And Josh Duhamel draws his gun, and everyone else draws their gun, and it's a Mexican standoff. Like that scene in The Office or that mission in GTA 5 where you're caught between a crossfire between 5 government factions. But one thing about this movie is that we're gonna listen to the 16-year-old who got a B- on his history presentation. They free Bumblebee, and Bumblebee goes to the Allspark and turns into a little cube. The gang is now split up. Josh Duhamel, Sam, Michaela, and Bumblebee are going into the city, and JK, SS, and Maggie are still at the base looking for a way to call for air support for Josh Duhamel's crew. Now here's the part I don't understand. Josh Duhamel needs to send coordinates for air support, and they need radio. So they go to the city to find radios. I get that, but why does Sam also need to go with Josh Duhamel to the city if he's with Bumblebee, who has the cube? Why do they all need to stay in the city at all? Like the Transformers are gonna have an all-out war, and they want to go somewhere where it's dense? My guy, how about fighting in the desert? You're literally in Nevada. Go into the yellow, not the gray. Megatron, who has thawed, can also turn into a jet. He breaks free and meets Starscream. Megatron and Starscream's relationship is straight out of Marriage Story. I haven't seen Marriage Story, but it's just the vibes I get. Starscream only follows Megatron's orders out of fear that Megatron will kill him, but given the opportunity, Starscream would not hesitate to kill Megatron and become leader of the Decepticons. Maggie and the gang have found a radio, but there are no mics. She suggests to Glende, hotwire the old computer parts to transmit a message in Morse code. Like she is an Australian genius working for the US government for no pay. Again, the US is only afloat because of its backbone of labor by black people and immigrants. The US is sending F-22s to help fight the Decepticons, which you must remember is the type of jet that Starscream can turn into. Uh-oh, Dennis the Menace frenzy is closing in on them. But JK, he finds some guns and starts shooting the little bugger. Now, Frenzy, he may be a menace, but he's not a genius. He throws a shuriken, it goes in an arc, comes back, and cuts his own head off.
Oh shit.
Where's your head? Gone, girl! On the highway to the city, Optimus Prime gets into combat with Bone Crusher. I say it like that because it's such a sick name. Like, Bone Crusher? Hello? What? Decepticons have names like Bone Crusher, while Autobots have names like Jazz. Like, it's not a fair match. Bone Crusher and Optimus transform on the highway while driving at 100 kilometers an hour, and again, the animation is so smooth. I cannot stress that enough. Property damage. Property damage all around. I can't believe my taxes are going to repairing something caused by freaking aliens. The subsidies of car-centric infrastructure was not made for destruction of this degree. Optimus may be Joe Biden, but he also has a freaking sword in his arm. Like, that was cool, I'll give you that. He shanks Bone Crusher's neck and KOs him in one shot. That's metal, huh? Yeah, you know, cause they're made of metal. Josh Duhamel got the radios from the city, but again, why did they need to stay in the city at all? They had time to get out so they could prevent more civilian deaths. They see an F-22 flying in, thinking it's theirs. Here's where we put the robots in disguise and deception in Decepticons. It's Starscream. Ironhide tells everyone to get into formation and block the missiles from Starscream. It's just not fair. Starscream seamlessly blends into the US military and deceives you guys, but these Autobot vehicles, they stick out like a sore thumb. Everyone is knocked out from the explosion. Oh no, Bumblebee is down. His legs are cut. Michaela runs to get a truck to carry Bumblebee, and Bumblebee gives Sam the cube. More explosions come. It's a tank. It's Devastator coming to devastate the protagonist. Jazz comes in to deal with Devastator. He drives in, transforms, does a flip to dodge the missiles, transforms back into a car, and transforms one more time using the momentum of the transformation to rip Devastator apart. Very reminiscent of the booby physics scene from the High School of the Dead. Everyone gangs up on Devastator and defeats him. Josh Duhamel gives Sam a mission to go up to the top of the building and fire a flare. He's talking to Sam like he's not just some 16-year-old kid with no prior military training tasked with the survival of the human race. But what can you do? He's a shonen protagonist. Apparently, their plan is to let Sam hand the helicopters the cube. But like, I don't get why this is the plan at all. They know Starscream and Megatron are jets. How are they expecting a bunch of helicopters and Autobots who can't fly to protect Sam when he's in the air in the helicopters? Anyways, he starts running. Run, Sam, run! Optimus and Megatron start fighting and they end up wrecking a whole building.
Megatron Prime!
The economy of the city is just going into the gutter. This fight is really cool. At one point, Megatron whips out a laser with his two hands clasped together, and Optimus throws a bomb to derail the shot. But he gets blown away by the laser instead. Optimus is down. For now, Sam keeps running protected by Ratchet and Ironhide, but is chased by Megatron. At one point, he activates the cube, which turns all electronics in the vicinity into Decepticons. This is never addressed at the end, so I just assume this whole city is going to be haunted by evil robots after this day. This vending machine transformer is really cool. Like, he just shoots Mountain Dew. Sam gets to the top of the building and fires a flare, and helicopters come down. Again, this is stupid because Megatron has missiles and he can fly way faster than any helicopter can. The helicopters, they get shot down, of course, as Sam is handing them the cube. Megatron tells Sam to give him the cube and he'll let him live. Sam says no. Megatron knocks him down the building, but he's caught by Optimus. At the bottom, Optimus tells Sam to destroy the cube by pushing it into Optimus's chest if he can't defeat Megatron, which will destroy Optimus as well. Blackout is on the way to the Megatron v Optimus fight, and Josh Duhamel does a drive-by on a motorcycle. He goes under where the sun don't shine and shoots a rocket up Blackout's genitals. Blackout is dead. Starscream tries to get rid of some of the F-22s in the sky, but most stay alive and come to shoot at Megatron. It's just Megatron left now. Everyone gangs up on him, but it's not enough. Sam finally puts the cube up Megatron's chest and destroys him and the cube. The Autobots win. Jazz dies though. Let me repeat. Jazz, the Autobot who speaks in AAVE, the black character, dies. And only him. In the last scene, Sector 7 is terminated. Megatron is thrown into the Laurentian abyss because that's what we do with discarded metal parts. We litter them in the ocean, allegedly thinking it would crush and entomb Megatron. Nope. Because there's a sequel. In this last shot, we have Sam and Michaela making out on top of Bumblebee in front of the first cliff where Bumblebee first broke down. First of all, when I'm kissing you, my senses come alive. Yay, they're together! Don't you just love when the guy you've been in school with since grade 1 but never talked to finally talks to you, but then he drags you into a war between two alien robot factions and somehow that makes you attracted to him? Secondly, get a room. Thirdly, do you think Transformers get horny? Because this is a point in the second movie. Optimus, Ratchet, and Ironhide are also at the side watching. Linkin Park, What I've Done plays and the credits roll. Extra notes. Now these are just some extra ideas I had, but didn't know where to inject them. Do you think Transformers will be able to function if we didn't have car-dependent infrastructure? I mean, Decepticons would be okay just running over humans all the time because they don't care. But the Autobots would be screwed because they're all like, we can't hurt humans. Like, it's not fair. Decepticons are Republicans while Autobots are Democrats. Sam Witwicky is a Nepo baby. He is a benefactor of nepotism from his great-grandfather, Archibald Witwicky. He's only the chosen one because he's born into it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I had a lot of fun making it. Let me know what your thoughts on the movie were. Check out my Letterboxd. This video is more or less summed up by my review there. Be sure to check out my Instagram and Twitter and like, comment, and share with your friends or enemies. Take care. Bye.